it. The play didn't really do it. Like everything Heroic's doing is showing that they are trying their best to be in that grand finals. At the moment, Aurora, it just feels like they're playing their game and it hasn't worked out. So I think for game 2, it just everything needs to be different. Often we pick one thing, but there's not a single thing that I feel like I can praise upon in regards to draft or play or anything. Sure, they've had moments in the past, but right now in this tournament, they don't feel like they are, proving to be a team that was going to be playing tomorrow.
This is KP's got to come and clutch. You've seen him on camera. This man can draft. We know that he can break down games. We know like just a pivotal part he can play for a lot of teams, a lot of rosters, and he's at the helm now for Aurora. He's the one doing that motivational talk and the one that has to come out with a whole new draft and go, yeah, maybe we got baited into picking the Naga because everyone's been banning it. Maybe we're a bit rusty on it. Where do the cards lie now?
I mean, if I'm honest, I think they need a wake-up call more than they need anything. Whether they need, one specific, adjustment here or there or the other. I think this team needs to realize, hey, the way that we're playing Dota in some games is just not okay, and we're gonna get abused by better teams. And I honestly think they need to recognize that, and they need to change things and shift their focus a little bit, because I think you can't have a game like this. And I think they're also the team that we've seen today has been the most affected by the pressure. I think the crowd, and I feel like the pressure of being on stage has affected them. I feel like individually they played quite poorly in this game. They made a lot of individual mistakes. We see points where like Slaughter just like blinks on a wave and stuns it when everyone's there and just dies immediately, or random individual mistakes that I think should not be happening. And so I think they need to, KP needs to snap it into them a little bit that, hey guys, we need to clutch up. This is, sure, there's some draft problems, but I also think more of this game is gameplay.
Yeah, I didn't really take that into effect, because when I look at all of these plays individually, they've had LAN experience. They played in front of crowds. It felt like they should be used to that. But, as this 5-man roster, as this new team on Aurora, yeah, maybe there is still that element there, that there are still nerves, misery, no matter how many times you step out on a stage.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it can also be just a few things going wrong, and maybe the draft didn't go as they wanted it to from the beginning. It can be small things that kind of snowballs into the game as well, and you make a couple of mistakes and it goes all wrong. But so yeah, I agree. I mean, they need something. Maybe go wash your face, get that second game, feeling ready and confidence back.
Yeah, look, I hope they've had that, right? Whether it's talks or whether it's washing their face, whatever they need to do, there is going to be a game number 2 on the horizon, a draft just after this break.
for the patch quiz. I have in front of me a lot of patch notes, some of which are true, some of which are false. All of them should be within Dota 2. Let's see if the players can figure out which are true and which are false. Ring of Regen now builds into Heaven's Halberd.
Okay, false.
It was true.
Who buys this item?
Techie's Blast Off now leaves a small lingering minefield that lasts 3 seconds.
False.
It is false.
I
That
love
would
my
be
taggies.
terrible.
I love my taggies.
Ultimate levels are now 6, 12, and 18.
True.
That is true. Bane and Feeble is now a passive.
Was it? I think that's true. Is it true? I think it's true. There's some weird more. I don't know what.
It's actually pretty recent, 723.
Yeah, that's probably what I remember.
Sniper's Headshot now procs on buildings for 50% effectiveness.
True.
False. Well, you were so confident in that one too. Slark Pounce no longer latches onto creeps.
False.
It is false.
God bless. There's some 6.82 coming.
I think that's it. I think you're golden. Well, thank you, Panto.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get you back to your spawn.
Oh yeah.
Be having the draft for game 2 of Heroic versus Aurora. I wanted to ask you one question first, Misery. When is the time to experiment? I wanted to have a quick look at Toronto Tokyo Slardar. He's only played it 3 times competitively, right, in his career, based on Dota Buff. His game just now, 0-6. The game before that, 21 days ago, he was 0-9-1. And then a day before that one, he went 8-3-20. So he's played 3 games, won 1 nicely, got absolutely dumpstered in the other 2.
Yeah.
Is this the time to experiment with heroes when you are in a single elimination, best of 3?
Also, you consider this last Slardar pick as almost like an experiment?
This is all experimentation, I feel, to some degree. Like, you first picked Slardar in the first time 22 days ago, it went well, you then got absolutely handled the game after, you've now come again, you lose again. Like, is this the point where Aurora have enough information that maybe Slardar isn't a reliable offlaner for them?
I mean, I think they need to experiment, but I think they need to experiment with something maybe like more aggressive overall, like maybe the playstyle wise or something like that. Like break up the way you're too. Like you gotta play the team, right? You gotta play heroic right now. You gotta adjust to them a little bit. You can't just do what you always do. I think that's what we saw Mouse do last game, and we saw them adjust in game 3, and that was really well done, right? I think Aurora needs to do something similar now.
Of course, Heroic, again, their bans in the first game was very, very good. They targeted all of the cores pretty much of Nightfall other than a Timbersaw ban from Tokyo. This time around, they have shifted their bans because them being on first pick, they've got the Abaddon, the Mars, and the Puck. I think in different drafts, you could argue all have pretty good building blocks, but again, Heroic going for a first pick Centaur, that is something that we haven't really seen from them. And it's also a hero that people haven't really banned against them.
No, but structurally, it actually makes sense, right? Because if we look at some of their previous games, they have sometimes picked Mars first. They've sometimes picked the what was it, like Night Stalker first, Sand King, things like that. So it is a hero that they can pick first and feel comfortable. It's a strong laner, right? We talked about this hero earlier. The Dominator into Pipe. It's a very standard, very good item build right now. Scaling into late game with Aghanims, so I don't mind it. Naga is once again in the pool.
Yeah, Naga in the pool, but I like
want to see it really for Aurora, honestly.
But I really like the concept of like heroes are strong in meta, but when they're strong, they're why they're there. So I feel like teams should be able to exploit them, and of course Aurora did that beautifully. I think, to be honest, too many teams are afraid of Naga Siren because they feel like everyone's going to play it to the caliber of Falcons, for example. Like, not every team is that good on Naga Siren.
Not. And that hero is not that easy to play as well. It's quite tricky, I think, to draft around Naga. But anyway, there's no Naga right now. The Queen of Pain, though, I kind of like this from Aurora. I think it's a fresh breath of fresh air, right? You get this mid, potentially. I mean, we don't know if it's a mid or...
Let's just say it's a mid. It's Aurora.
But let's assume it's mid.
I will quit my job if Nightfall's playing Queen of Pain carry.
No, I mean, it could be some random support, Queen of Pain, or Toronto Tokyo gets flexed to offlane, you never know. But I think it's at least, it's a nice hero. You pick it up against the Whisper mid, you feel good no matter what he plays, gives you a lot of damage early on. I also like, when I was coaching Mikoto, I think he enjoys when his hero is being picked early, because he kind of wants to play those heroes regardless. Even if he has last pick, he's not going to pick Huskar. So I think, picking his hero early fits him as a player and leaves room for some of the other heroes to come later.
But that aside, even though I fully agree with Makoto being confident playing any matchup, also early picking a hero does bait enemies to pick certain cores, and then you kind of know the direction of the draft. Yeah. But with Heroic, right, banning out the Ursa, the Tidehunter, if you were to say what are some good counters to a Centaur, of course, Ursa is the first one that comes to mind. It's, of course, Aurora's best hero. Do you feel like Aurora maybe missed a chance to try and hard counter the, you pick Centaur, we lock in the best hero against you instantly?
Potentially, I mean, if they were willing to pick the Ursa there, it would not, it definitely could have happened. But again, we don't know if this Queen of Pain is a flexible...
Again, my job is on the line, so I hope it's not.
I mean, Nightfall carry Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
Imagine playing Centaur and going up against Queen of Pain.
No, I understand. Stop trying to sell it. I don't want them to hear you. Again, like I said, my job's on the line. Just make sure Makoto's playing it, all right? They are on our side of the stage.
Again, Jakiro, I think it's looking for me much better for Aurora right now. They have much more damage now. They have stronger lanes already.
But one pipe and their damage does fall apart, right? The Scream, the Dagger, Jakiro's spells, and they have already, I fully agree, their lanes feel like they have more forward-thinking ideas, the purpose, right? But if they enter that mid-game and they feel like Queen, Jakiro +1 is enough damage, that's when a Chen, a Centaur, all these little buffs and auras will, they'll come, crumbling down.
The good thing is that they have only shown 2 heroes so far. Well, they're basically Falcons right now.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
this is
they're dabbling, yeah.
Falcons bread and butter right here with the Chen Skywrath. And this also, Falcons were playing the Skywrath in the safe lane and going Chen in the off lane, at least having that potential flexibility there.
But the Sky is good though for the fact that Queen of Pain is all about the elusive in and out in the early game, right? Trying to play the limits, get that big damage. When you get Ancient Sealed, silenced by the Skywrath Mage, you are gonna die on that Queen of Pain.
Queen of Pain also does not really want to buy any of those items that remove that right now. He wants to just go Aghanims and Kaya Sanch really early on, right? But now you feel like you need to build a BKB or something like that to get rid of it.
And you are deceptively tanky with the facet for Skywrath Mage. Can't remember what it's called, I'm not going to try and lie to you, but when you do magic damage, you then get the barrier. You can just throw Mystic Flare, get that additional barrier, feel like you can actually stand and fight. Of course, old school Skywrath, you get jumped by one hero, you are dead.
But let's see here, Aurora. They basically see a lot of stuff from Heroic that they need to, they see the Chen, you see the Centaur, the pipe's going to be there, the aura's going to be there. How do you deal with this? So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good pick again. I think this approach from Aurora is kind of what we've been asking for on the panel, right? Throw in some more aggression, change your mindset a bit, change the way you play.
Okay, and they go for the Sven. All right, again, some classics. At least for Nightfall, he goes for the Sven. I'm a little afraid because Sven can fall into a bit of a trap where you don't apply pressure in the laning phase, and then you do need to farm for a good 15-20 minutes to then be explosive. And then the Heroics line up around 15-20 minutes with a Pipe or a Crimson on the Centaur, the correct neutral creeps from the Chen. You can also kind of withstand Sven's entry to the game and make him think about, oh, now I need a Daedalus, now I need the extra item, the extra way of doing it. So yes, it's comfort for Aurora, but it could play into the, do we actually have enough damage? Because of Sven just not being that strong in the lane. And a Beastmaster for Heroic. They want to just bring that tempo, that life to the game, right? Beastmaster most likely from the mid lane for Whisper. Is it going to free farm against the Queen of Pain? It's just going to have...
It's a very good beast pick, I think, right now. It looks, the beast pick makes their draft overall a lot more, like their 5-man makes it a lot stronger. I think it's nice to have beast against Sven. You know, these heroes don't really like summons. But I still think Aurora has a lot of play here in them. I think the synergy between Jakiro and Bounty Hunter playing early up with the Queen of Pain, you can actually shut down this Beastmaster, right? The supports, if they start dying, the Chen, the Skywrath Mage, they can start feeding, right? And then suddenly you have a much more explosive Aurora draft that can really take advantage of the map. I think they need a playmaker in the offlane though that does not necessarily need that many items to play. I think they need something to play fast, because I do agree Sven can sometimes be quite greedy as a hero. He needs some time to farm, and he's not really going to participate.
And one thing that we often don't talk about with Chen is that when your position 5 is your traditional warder for your team, when you're playing Chen, you're playing more towards the jungle, your own efficiencies, the items that you bring. So you then need your position 4 to step up and take that warding game over. And if these small things against a bounty hunter, if you have any bad sentry placement, any bad obs placement, you're suddenly going to have him on your back line, getting the deep vision out, understanding all of your movement, when's that death ball coming. Again, Heroic's lineup is going to be somewhat scripted. Where is the Centaur, where's the Beastmaster? The supports have to be behind them. But if you know where the cores are, you will see a lot of ways to dodge them. And Aurora, I hope this time around, if you want this to get to a game 3, they're going to need to utilize the bounty, the vision, to be able to just choose the correct fight to take.
I think the point about the Heroics lineup or heroes in general are not really scary until they get blink daggers, I think is a good point, because like, you know, it's not that easy for Beastmaster to run in and roar a Queen of Pain before he blinks away, right? Or maybe you can kill the bounty hunter with some dust, but it's not that easy for them to initiate right now. You have the Stampede, sure, but it's, you know, you kind of need the blink daggers before you become effective, or you're just running around as a ball. But against bounty hunter, he's gonna know where you are, he's gonna scout, give the vision for you, so you can easily rat and choose your fights wisely. So I think Heroic needs to think about maybe a win condition or somehow close out the game early here. Meepo?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I think Meepo is
I was doing the Meepo point. You
do have this. I mean, actually,
no.
It's Sven, Quap,
don't care.
Jakiro, Bounty. There's a lot of AoE, but I still think it's a problem.
But modern day Meepo doesn't really care that much, right? Because you have the Aghanims and they do ban it out.
Yeah, that's a good ban.
Even though you might think Aurora's lineup's good against it, the fact that you don't have early game instant damage to threaten Meepo means he's always going to get online, and it just takes one dig or one Ags, whatever the thing is when they become a tower or whatever it's called, one of those ones, and you break their lineup. So I think a very good ban for Aurora. Mega Meepo, if that's the word.
Mega Meepo.
Yeah.
No, I do think Heroic needs to find something that either puts them in a position where they can just kind of sit back and farm and not worry so much, or something that allows them to go high ground kind of early and just makes their death ball really strong. And I mean, Meepo would fit perfectly into that category, but banned out now. And as for Aurora, what do we got for Toronto Tokyo as well? He needs some, like we talked about, some kind of stable offlaner.
I think a hero that was, I mean, Heroic kind of enjoyed a bit was the Kez, right? The idea of just a decent lane, just kind of annoying to kill. I think as long as Yuma has some way of just being annoying, buying time for the fight, everyone's going to be able to shine, be it through the damage of Skywrath Mage or the lockdown of a Centaur or a Beastmaster.
TA maybe as well could be a hero that they could consider here.
Yeah, true. That would then give you a little bit more access to objectives. When you win the fight, you can Roshan, you can do all this stuff. Again, Kez kind of can with the Deso. TA, of course, easily will with the Desolator and her natural playstyle.
I can definitely see Kez as well.
Yeah. Again, Aurora, they do have the last pick in the draft.
I think Aurora also needs to be careful they don't pick something like Night Stalker and then overcommit to the skirmishing and ending up with 0 team fight whatsoever. They can make that work, but right now I think they could pick a hero and make their draft very, very solid. Ban out the Axe and Pangolin here as well. So what is he actually there? There's some kind of maybe Underlord could be an interesting one for Aurora.
Alright, they have 8 seconds of reserve time, 12 seconds left on this pick, so it's not a lot of time for them to decide, but I mean, Yuma has shown a lot of confidence in his playstyle on picks recently. Pretty much whatever he calls for, you pretty much give him. And he's going to take the Juggernaut. So opting to play more of a stable lane, doesn't want to get countered by this potential Toronto Tokyo offlane pick. Of course, we've seen the strengths of Jug. Looking at their lineup, this feels so like classics, right? Like you got Jug, you got Centaur, you have Healing Ward to amp up heroes, you got Chen.
Yeah.
Just the amount of tankiness and healing that Heroic bring when they are together between 20 to 30 minutes, that is such an alarming timing for Aurora to play into.
For sure. I mean, Juggernaut gives them a little bit of what we talked about, a little bit of both, right? It allows you to sit back and farm, get your Battle Fury, and still go into late game while you slowly get your Blink Daggers on Beast and Centaur. But it also allows you, if you start snowballing, to just 5-man down towers, right? And we go for round 2 Slaughter here.
Okay, so 4th time the charm for Toronto Tokyo.
Better Slaughter game than last. I think the synergy between their heroes is much better. Good against Jug in the match in the lane. I guess you get the minus armor against the Centaur, right? And he also kind of can feed on the support if he starts snowballing. But what do you think?
I'm a little worried for them just because yes, Slaughter is a classic counter to Jug. You just bash him when he spins. You can always threaten that. But the fact is, you're leaning into the is Nightfall ready to do the damage when it's required? Because when you look at the auras, right, OF Chen just brings the Ogo creep with the little frost, right?
Sure.
Some additional shield, right? You got potential Vlad, you have Crimsons, and you have, ACs from a Beastmaster who's not afraid of buying it.
Okay,
like
sure.
There's so many ways for Aurora to feel like they have damage problems that I need to see like a perfect laning phase from them.
No, I think Aurora definitely needs to play this one well, but I think they have a lot of tools to put on the aggression early on in this game. Like, I think their supports are much stronger this time around. I think Heroic's draft is a little bit slow. If they manage to shut down the Beastmaster, I think Heroic might have a hard time fighting back going into early mid-game.
Yeah. I really want to see Bounty Hunter, Jakiro, and Queen of Pain shine, because I think they had quite a quiet game in the last one. Of course, they only had, 4 kills, so pretty much everyone had a quiet game. Yeah. But this time around, with Kodo, I want to see him be like the MVP, the star player for this team. Like, he can break open the game, utilize the damage amp of a track, the damage of Ollie from a Jakiro, right? Bring this to life, and sure, they can do it, but it's all about tempo. Good lanes, find the fight. They cannot just play for scale. If they play for scale, the scale will hit them right in the face when Heroic's ready. Yeah,
it's kind of a test for them, right? Are they able to suddenly bring in this aggressive playstyle into an otherwise passive team, right? Because that's also a bit of adjustment that they have to think about in this game. There's a completely different playstyle than perhaps what they normally do.
You're a player that used to like killing couriers. How many do you think Mira is going to kill this game on the Bounty Hunter? Like, it's not really a thing people do nowadays, so it's just kind of a little side minigame we can do.
I think there's the 4 meta of sniping couriers behind the tower in the laning phase is definitely a thing. But I also think that if Heroic are on point, they should be very aware of this and not just feed away couriers, right?
Yeah, because that could be a smaller thing. You kill a couple couriers, you set up like the key item can destroy, and then now it's like. But that's the thing, I want Aurora to make all these little moves to be able to do this, and luckily I don't have to quit my job because I did pick the Queen of Pain. We already know that, but I just remembered that, of course, Nightfall is luckily on the Sven, so yeah, we're happy days there. But yeah, again, Heroic, very, very scary, the classic Heroic lineup. They have all the tools that they need, and for Aurora, again, Toronto Tokyo, his last game on Slaughter was 0-6. The game before that, he was 0-9. Sure, he had an 8-3 and 20 Slaughter performance, but at least in the last 2 games, Slaughter has not been Toronto Tokyo's hero. Now he's a game away from potential elimination. He has to shine. You know who also shines? OD and Fogged.
Thank you very much, TES. Coming up into Game 2 time here between Aurora and Heroic. Fogged, we've seen the drafts. Do Aurora have a chance of holding on and pushing the series to a Game 3 with this?
Yeah, it looks much better. Honestly, it matches the aggression that we know that Heroic likes to play in. Are they going to be able to execute it with it? I'm also just much happier to see Mira playing a hero like Bounty Hunter. I think Mira has a lot of heroes that he can play, but seeing him do this one should be exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's see if Aurora can give us a bit of a better showing here in this Game 2 and try and push this series to a Game 3. Heroic, they're looking for the 2-0 though. Here we have it. So overall, when you look at what Aurora's done in this Game 2 draft, what can you imagine that they sort of took away from that Game 1 loss?
Just stronger supports, being able to play around Mikoto is what I would say, and I don't feel like I know they've picked Naga Siren a lot in the past, or they have a couple of times. I just don't feel like they play so great around the Naga Siren in general. So I'm just happier to see them playing on these two more aggressive style heroes, looking for aggressive plays. Yes, they'll be lacking in the save potential, which, as we mentioned on Heroic in the last game, they had a ton of. This one, they have a lot of healing that's going to come into that saving. But Aurora, it's a very aggressive lineup. The three main ones we're looking at: the Quap, the Jakiro, and that Bounty Hunter. How much they can get done.
Because on Heroic side of things, would you say overall you'd imagine that they're going to play to pretty similar timings as they're able to achieve in game one, or is there sort of a difference in their approach in terms of like trying to close the game out before it gets too late this time?
Probably, actually pretty similar. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, this one they have this like Jug healing ward, a little bit more standard approach, but it does feel like it's very similar about that 20-minute getting that explosive timing and running away with things rather than letting Aurora slow things down at all.
On some of these...
And that's just Heroic. You know, Heroic is never going to play slow.
No, absolutely. We certainly saw that in game one. And overall, some of these picks in particular, you know, Schofield last game had an insane time. This time, coming on the Skyrath, you were saying to me earlier, well, this also could be a hero that you can really pop off from the early stages with.
Yeah, and especially on this like 4 position. We saw Crit doing it during Fissure a lot. I was talking to Crit actually quite a bit during it as well, and this hero is definitely on the rise. If you see a hero that, you know, the silence is going to be really effective versus as well, it's really good. But just a lot of these lane partners is super strong. Saw a lot of players during that that quick little question thing that we had. They were saying Centaur Sky, one of the strongest duo of lanes, but they saw Quap first pick. The silence can just ruin your game as well too. So really interesting stuff, and let's see what we get out of this mid lane, as they will be able to kill that Satyr immediately. So nice move there from Mira.
Absolutely. Yeah. No one wants to have to lane up against that extra creep being played against them. So Aurora will be quickly able to dispose of that. And as we're talking about that Centaur Sky lane, how well does the safe lane of Aurora deal with the pressure?
I think they could definitely run into some problems up here on Nightfall, because it's this melee hero versus the Centaur who's going to constantly be spamming him. They do at least have Jakiro though, so they have this hero that's very good at trading with right clicks. I think that's why Ollie went for the Twin Tower as well, rather than going for the Ice Path, is because he just wants to be trading constantly in this lane. They are very low armor, right? Centaur and Sky. There's 2 0 armor heroes. It's rare that you see these 2 0 armor heroes lined up together, but of course you do have that ring of protection.
And I guess, you know, to sort of go off on that in terms of the overall game, you would say that the Slardar pick you feel a little better about this time round from Toronto Tokyo, coming in as the last pick this time.
Yes, much better, absolutely. Their whole lineup just synergizes much better than the last one. The last one just felt, honestly, like heroes just kind of placed all over the place. I feel like.
Schofield trying to get in under the tower to get aggressive onto Nightfall, but Devi, and in fact Schofield as well, both taking quite a lot of damage in return for that effort. Breath comes in onto Schofield. Ollie's bullying back the two of them, allowing Nightfall to have the space to continue to farm underneath the tower.
Oh, he's breaking it. Got the salve there, so Schofield was able to get his salve off. He breaks Ollie's, but Ollie's still pretty healthy. And Schofield tries to block the camp there, but will eat quite a bit of damage here. Ollie's almost killing him.
We can change them out. Warcry here from Nightfall. We'll be able to set up for the stun onto Devi. A round of the dual breath. Devi, they might just be able to find him. They do. First blood. This time we'll go to Nightfall. Dealing with this early aggression very well here, the two of them. As you said, this was a setup where they could absolutely buckle to the pressure early on off the Sky and the Centaur, but Aurora, they're the ones getting the kill against them.
I mean, already Ollie he just looks much more comfortable being on this, playing this Jakiro here. We're seeing him trading, playing more effectively inside the lane rather than the Naga. Of course, it's an easier lane to play with the Sven Jakiro in comparison to what they had last time. But yeah, nice trades. Really nicely done. And nice that Nightfall comes over, gets the Warcry point. If he doesn't run over, they won't get that kill at that exact moment. Level 3 has been hit already for Ollie too, so he's got that 2 points in Liquid Frost. It is absurd. I mean, I talk about this every time Jakiro's in nowadays. It's insane how much damage this does if it does connect onto you.
Absolutely, we'll have no struggle in trading back with anything that Schofield and Devi throw down at him.
Doesn't get you want to be able to get those extra right clicks though when you do it. As bottom for the play.
Now get the crush. The healing ward. Is it going to be enough heals to keep Yuma alive? It's not.
Nope.
Bash comes in
and they get the kill.
They take Yuma out. And also King Jungle's going to be kept very low as he's pushed back underneath the tower.
Yeah, much better. This is why they wanted the Slardar. That Slardar versus Jug matchup, he's able to get those trade hits. And the Jug is farming very well. Are able to go for that kill here with Mira. And Mira, you know, I was mentioning before, I'm so much happier seeing him playing Bounty than playing the Ringmaster right now. Ring does feel like he's in a bit of an awkward spot. Bounty feels like he's in a very good spot right now, especially versus Chen. Seen a lot of players start playing it.
Schofield will get the courier snipe.
The pull on the
Still
wave
sitting
too.
pretty low here on Ollie. Get another round of spells down onto Schofield.
Schofield's skilled silence at level 2. So not as effective as being able to go for the trades. This is a commitment of going for a potential just kill move. Interesting to see it picked up at 2.
Schofield should be fine here. Mikoto not really with the resources to try and punish him whilst he drags the creep wave around the jungle. Down on the lane, and Nightfall continue to farm pretty decently down here. They're able to set things back up though for Divide to begin to catch up.
And Divide's got a gigantic wave. Look at this. It's like a two and a half wave or something. I don't know how many extra creeps have been brought into there.
They're getting quite a bit of freedom during this downtime where Ollie's had to head back to the base.
And all during this, we haven't looked at the 2 lanes. The one lane we have not really glanced at much is that mid lane. Whisper doing excellent in the matchup. 24-10 to the 16-4. Of course, there's some board denies that are coming into play there, but having a really good time.
Keeping the constant pressure on towards Mikoto.
Even though they
Mikoto
did
just
Chen creep. Just owning that lane.
using Mirror down bottom. King Jungle's pretty low.
Mirror.
Mirror's got to be careful. Won't be able to get underneath the tower quite yet. Still a fair fire at the ready on King Jungles. Mirror at least finding the courier of Yuma.
Yuma got
Sorry, no, Yuma getting Mirror the courier, in fact. Yeah. A little bit of taste of his own medicine there, the Bounty Hunter. Rarely being the one to lose his rather than take out the enemies. Top lane. He's going to come back in from Schofield. If he can catch anyone here close to the tower. If comes out, Ollie's going to be buffed up and fine.
2-0, Aurora. I mean, lanes, as we said, it looks just infinitely better so far this time from the draft alone, and so far from the plays, seeing that come into play as mid. Power Rune is coming up. Mira is set up here with Mikoto. Not that much mana on Mikoto, though, so he is just constantly getting burned. Another one. Very annoying.
I won't be able to make any sort of snap surprise play with the Sonic Wave skill.
Ollie will show up for the rune, though. He'll be able to grab the amp damage. Isn't able to save it there for Mikoto, but nonetheless. Potentially set up a kill onto Divide if he doesn't see this coming with the amp damage here. See how far he steps forward.
See if they can have the setup. He comes in. Nightfall thinking about closing in on towards the Centaur. Then the ice path, but Nightfall doesn't want to commit for this under towards the tower.
A bit awkward how they connected forward there. It looked like they maybe could have gone for this, but I guess one of them was waiting for the other person to stun first, and then neither of them stunned, so a little bit of a slip up there. As Mira looking to contest the shrine, being very oppressive, blocking camps as well. Do they have detection for him? The courier, the dust coming out of the courier.
I mean, yeah, he's probably not going to get away with this one.
He might die, because the shrine's not going to tick, and they're going
to expect that someone's around.
They're bringing more heroes.
They are, so Ollie's stepping forward here to help Mirror out. And in fact, the Heroic themselves, they don't bring in the backup. So that's going to mean that both Shrine and Wisdom's here 7 minutes in. They're going Aurora's way.
I guess Whisper didn't feel like he was healthy enough, just sitting at too low of mana to be able to TP over and help his buddies out. That's a big deal. I mean, Aurora, infinitely better time in this early game.
Absolutely, making sure that Heroic do not get the chance to get that early lead against them this time.
And Mira, I'm loving the way he's playing on this bounty hunter. He's just moving from lane to lane. The Slaughter has been giving an opportunity in the lane to do well. Already has a kill. Treads are done. This is looking good. Level 6 is done for the Slaughter already too. Before that level 6 comes out for the Jug, so he can stand down there for a couple more moments. But when Omni comes out, has to be careful.
Schofield will get the Courier Snipe against Nightfall, so that little bit of life steal is going to be held up back a little longer.
Hey, that matters. In for a minute, not going to have that for the jungle.
Looking at the mid here with the Power Rune coming in, they'll be able to keep it safe for Mikoto to grab this time.
And just, yeah, world of differences we're seeing. The supports on the side of Heroic, it's not the same where they can just go double check the runes. They have that super strong duo. They also lost their shrine, of course, there. So Aurora support's just feeling much stronger to make the moves this time around. Putting the pressure on. And scouting, Schofield will find the D-Ward.
More than prepared to back up Whisper in the mid. They do try and make the move. Of course, Whisper's ready with the Roar to fight back.
It looks
they'll go for this play towards the top.
Yeah, and it looks like KJ has just kind of decided, I'm going to farm on Chen. Rather than looking to make moves, he's just going to farm and hit the 6. He's just literally hitting creeps on the Chen. Scan will connect. Nightfall.
He's got Ollie by his side. And he's going to get further backup, so Aurora, they're not afraid to take a fight here. Courier will get sniped here, another one from Schofield.
Is it going to be a Schofield move where he just baits them into a play?
I mean, Heroic, they're bringing the jug up as well. The ice path down here, Rod, to start things on a Schofield. They'll quickly burst through the Sky Rapper. Here's Yuma with the rotation. He's in onto Ollie. Able to very easily take down the Jakira. Nightfall will take back towards him. He'll opt to TP out here with the Blade Fury. Yuma doesn't want to stick around any longer. Divide also with the Who Stomp holding back Toronto Tokyo. Should get the chance to retreat.
All right, that is a lot of rotations coming in from Aurora. They bring everybody to the top lane to prevent that play. And in the meanwhile, I was saying, you know, Chen just hitting creeps. So you see that net worth reflect already coming in up to a 1K lead after it was Aurora actually with the lead in that first start of the laning phase just because of these little moves.
Yeah, and a good call from Yuma to back out when he did. You know, takes the quick kill against the support, but doesn't try and stick around. Even though he had the Omni Slash at the ready, had the mana for it with the one charge, just knew he wouldn't get an easy kill. It was straight towards the bottom, and now with the backup, they might get someone able to drag back into the Blade Fury, pop the Omni Slash, but this one absolutely taking down Toronto Tokyo.
Oh, that's a rough death for Tokyo.
Back over towards the mid, Makoto and Mirror, they're trying to go for Whisper. Nice path as well from Ollie, but Whisper's pretty beefy on this Beastmaster. They don't quite have enough to finish him. King Jungle's here by the side. The second screen comes in. It's not enough burst to kill Whisper off.
And
he'll survive.
They take the whole tower bottom as well. They kill the Slardar, they get the tower. They take complete advantage of the fact that all these ults were used top, right? The Sonic Wave, the God Strength is very hard for Aurora to set up a defense.
That's pretty crazy. I mean,
very
sort
heads
of
up move.
just what minute of carefully calculated plays from Heroic, and they're up to a 3K lead after what was a pretty close early game.
I mean, it's super smart, small efficiency plays, right? Like you're mentioning, KJ just hitting creeps on the jungle, right? The Chen, you see his net worth, it reflects what he's been doing. 2,600, he's got his drums finished up, level 6. They're the ones that lost their Shrine of Wisdom, and he's 6 before the other supports. So it says a lot.
A little bit of a slowdown now in the progression for Yuma. Did get his Courier snipe, but as it was, still doesn't quite have the full money for the Battle Fury. He is very close, though.
Toronto Tokyo's game has fallen off a cliff completely, though. He was pretty much top for his cores on his team, and after that death, you know, rotates top, tries to help out his team, doesn't get a kill, and then goes bottom and dies immediately afterwards. Stagnated his farm quite a bit here. Definitely want this Slardar to have a good game because there's some squishy heroes that he could potentially go for as Yuma. Toronto's going for him again.
The healing ward out.
Sister Shroud wasn't able to hit that healing ward either.
Can't quite make that play on his own at this stage. Toronto Tokyo. Next time around, Yuma's going to have the Omni Slash back off cooldown.
Yeah, look at the neutral item that Yuma went for, by the way, Owen.
I take it on everything right, as you said. No matter what you're playing, it's going to feel pretty good, especially when you're against some of these heavy, hard hitters. They need to get those early hits in, like the Sven and the Slardar.
Yeah, he even takes health, too, so he took Brawny, which is pretty interesting, right? Because he wants to tank up versus the high burst early of the Quap and the potential Slardar, so that's like cool little small things to point out. Aurora continuing to play around Makoto, continuing to try to keep his tower alive. It is almost dead, though. Nightfall is getting to hit those creeps, though, so he is top of net worth.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to...
He'll get to play Dota.
Indeed. Just sort of see him have an impact in those earlier fights, even if Heroic are the ones bringing it towards Aurora. Will not be afraid of turning up and fighting back this time.
He should be able to play Dota, I should say, because there are things that can mess with him, of course. You know, there is the roar and the heals that can come in and all these auras as Mira.
I'm gonna catch him with the dust.
Okay.
To take the kill like that. With a bit of a slowdown that's starting to come into play here.
Yeah.
3-3, 13 minutes in.
Whisper just wants to accelerate his Axe timing since it is not the absolute fastest by any means.
Still able to hold that mid area. At the moment, Makoto's close to having the Kaya, but barely able to get any pressure onto the tier 1 in the mid, whereas Heroic are pretty close to being able to take that tier 1 away from Aurora.
Aurora can take any fight pretty much right now. They've got Blink on the Slardar, they've got the Kaya on the Quap as soon as they're regained at least on their resources on the Queen of Pain. Can definitely look to contest pretty much all the moves of Heroic in this game. Heroic is getting a little bit more farm efficiency out of the map as we're seeing, but as you said, Aurora's draft, it has much better synergy than that last game. So can look to get these moves going together around this Blink Dagger.
Yeah, they can sort of set up the fight to allow the Sven to freely roam
Yeah,
and run target to target.
there we go. Smoke. Bounty Hunter has hit 6, so they've got that amp. They've got kind of like this double amp lineup, right? They have the track, which gives that slight bit of amp, the 8%, and then they have the corrosive haze, so they can kill targets pretty quick.
There's the jump. They'll drop the Macropyre and very quickly burst Whisper this time round.
Yeah, it's double damage amp. It's actually pretty interesting how it's going to work together, being able to focus fire some of these targets, and they don't blow anything big, right? They reveal the blink, but they don't use a sonic wave. They keep looking for these aggressive plays. He's got the arcane rune also. Blink move's done for Devi, so they could look to connect and go for a fight around the tower on the side of Heroic.
Let's see if they're tempted to do anything around this tier 1. For now.
Yeah, Heroic is looking to join. They've got the blink on Centaur.
Here's the group up. Yuma, ready to get involved with this smoke play. Only able to get the jump. Proto already playing it safe with the blink. The high ground here, Heroic. Mira might be the one to tank the gank on this one, and he will.
Very nice tank. Great information gathering there from the Bounty Hunter again. Probably going to get the mid tower out of it, but either way, we'll be able to not lose a core hero, as Makoto was pretty close to perhaps getting stunned up there.
The group up and push still pretty difficult for Aurora to stop at this stage of the game, at least.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the curious thing that's going to be the call of... There's this double-edged sword with this Bounty versus Chen thing, is where you're able to scout the Chen all the time, blah, 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 but there comes to a point where Bounty and versus the Chen just grouped up, you don't really contribute a whole lot, so... Uh-oh.
This play that flies on Nightfall.
Oh, man.
They're going to be able to catch him here. The slow from the Stampede into the silence and the Hoostomp. They'll lock him down. He'll get the chance to get the concentrate pop and back up into the Omni Slash. Comes in huge from Yuma. Gets the double.
It's a beauty.
They'll turn towards Toronto Tokyo. He's got backup coming in from Makoto. We're going to see Yuma opt to bail out of this one. Schofield, he'll get left behind. So Makoto and Toronto Tokyo should be able to clean up the Scarab as well. Bash comes in. Schofield trying to hide in the tree line. A little bit of a pause comes in. But Schofield should be pretty dead. So all in all, Aurora, they try and make that play. They do manage to kill off the Centaur, but Yuma finding the perfect chance to, again, just turn up, get a couple of kills, and dip as soon as he needed to.
Good ward they had. Scouting out the Sven from the movement. Yeah, Schofield, very dead.
So they're able to... Do they buy time for Mira to get the track off?
Now they will.
Yeah.
With the pause, absolutely. You just hide the...
Mira's
Make sure
like,
the
let me get the track.
Toronto Tokyo has to just hide in the tree, just in case. I know he doesn't... He's not seen, but like, just be careful not to get nuked, because I don't think it's enough damage, but just in case. That track come in, like, a little extra gold.
And just somehow in these fights, that you know, Yuma, he's getting away with these sort of slippery plays. A couple of times that we've seen him weave in and out of the fights, not overstay his welcome in the team fights. He's getting away with a lot on the jug. Keeping up here with that farm and Nightfall.
It's definitely one of those games where the jug... I don't see, at least, anything that's going to cause any Omni slash shenanigan, right?
Sure, in terms of just straight up the kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's a shadow walk, right?
Yeah,
that's normal, right? And
the clock
Invis
can
that's
blink
fine.
away,
Those
but
are normal.
Outside of that, you know, this Slardar, Sven, Jakiro, there's not a whole lot they can do once Jug gets their hands on him.
And overall, the one thing is, like, Heroic's lineup, once these auras do start to get online, that is really my big concern for Aurora, because this Chen is going to get everything, right? He's going to get every single one of the auras. They're going to get them as well on Devi, very likely, and that can be where there can be damage issues, even though they do have Quappy Sven, which are very explosive damage. And soon timings are going to be hit for Heroic. Probably the biggest timing for their lineup is that Aghanim's, and it looks like Whisper is 50 gold from having it. As here we go for the track.
Let him get the track off. There we go.
Easy bonus money. And he'll get the D ward as well. So, Mira, nice move.
Despite being a little bit behind this game, Aurora, absolutely night and day, depending on what they're able to do in game one. This time round, able to match the pace so far.
And there's the Yuma Mira, looking for the opportunity, just keeps throwing out those tracks, giving a slight bit of damage amp. Letting Makoto poke him.
It's a tough one to go for. Backup's coming in.
Makoto.
He's out of it. Doesn't want to stick around a moment longer with Heroic showing their faces.
Whisper is down here with the Aghanims.
Mira, still looking around.
Blood grenade.
Caught by the dust. I mean, just trying to close in on him. Off the drums. They're pretty speedy here on the chase.
Can they catch? I don't think they catch him.
He's
Nice
gonna be
play from
fine.
Mira. Really heads up, throws the blood grenade to break his invis so that he's not slowed by the dust and he can actually move faster. Little small cube plays coming in.
Wants to be able to hold on to the tier 1 tower down here, though. You know, something that Aurora still yet to be able to take out away from Heroic. All 3 of Heroic's tier 1 still standing.
And Heroic looking to play around these timings, right? They've got that Ags, they've got the Blink. Looking to go for these setup plays. Aurora smoking nicely in their own move. They've got the Blink with Nightfall. He wants to get involved now. He's very strong right now in this Sven. Some fragile heroes on Heroic.
Dream catch would be the Jug. So they'll happily settle for anything else right now, Aurora. Just whatever they can take away from this snowball that Heroic are trying to get going. They'll get the jump in on towards the Chen. Although stun and bash as well on towards Divide. Divide taking heavy hits. Has to stampede away from this. Whisper will hold back on a take over the ball. The Omni Slash comes in, takes out the Slaughter. Nice pop from the side onto Schofield. Schofield, look at the Ancient Seal and Mystic Flare coming down onto Mirror, but it wasn't enough to finish him off. So Schofield falls. Aurora.
Nice fight.
Now on top of the fight there, catching Heroic by surprise.
I believe at least 2 track kills. I didn't see if the third one actually got onto it at the time. It says I see 3 tracks were casted, but unsure if it exactly was. But a very nice fight. They'll lose Toronto Tokyo, but a nice little sacrifice. He tanked the Roar and the Omni Slash together.
Yeah, he tanked a lot in that one.
Yeah. And we're seeing the power, right? Nightfall being able to turn up in this game. Rather than being a Medusa where he has to wait forever and the game was already potentially over at this point, he can show up. A nice 3-man crush that came out there from Divide, but not quite quick enough. KJ was already pretty much dead.
Back in action here in the mid. Trying to get their hands onto Makoto, but no follow-up lockdown.
It's the contest for the Roche. There's no God Strength, there's no Sonic Wave.
Sure, and from Heroic side of things, they don't have the Omni Slash.
No Roar either, but they're just gonna look to whittle down this Roche slowly with their healing.
Yeah, they have so much sustain.
Yeah.
Pretty much able to remain at full HP here in this effort for the Roshan. Aurora,
Aurora.
can they make any sort of snatch play come out here?
You gotta kind of just YOLO, I think, on Toronto Tokyo, but it's a bit too late.
Divide, he's ready to keep it covered by making the jump himself aggressively up the high ground and ensure that Aurora gets no chance to make the jump in. Make sure the space is there for them to finish Roche on Heroic, get the Aegis on Whisper, and get the 2 kills on top of it as well. Divide, he was not going to let them have any sort of chance to make that steal play.
Nice play from Whisper with the micro too. You're sending the boar on the high ground, just poking the Slardar. So Toronto couldn't actually find an angle to get in to look for the potential steal. Giving the Aegis too to this Beastmaster and Whisper. Now very strong in the front lines. He's got the blink too to actually look, pick and choose his targets. I think in the last couple fights, he kind of just roared the target that was given to him based off opportunity. Now he can actually roar and choose which one he wants to go for, be it the Sven, be it the Quap, or the Slardar. And with this, they're gonna smoke. They've got Stampede ready, they've got Omni ready. Aurora does have everything as well at the ready.
Yeah, imagine despite the Aegis being on Heroic, Aurora will not be afraid of trying to take the fight.
Just no BKB yet on Nightfall. He's at literally, I think, very
Super
close to have. Yeah, 400. If he gets caught before it, pretty down.
Last hit, it's going to be put him pretty close. Just a couple of hundred to go.
Just a Tormentor play first for Heroic. So they read the movement. Looks like Mira immediately is swinging down toward bottom, perhaps expecting them to make this move. He's getting close to Vessel, which is really necessary this game versus the Beastmaster and the Chen. And he will scout them out. There's a gem though, as we see. As soon as that Roche got killed, they did buy it on Schofield, so really looking to play as a unit and kind of just control map, that says.
Good movements from Mira there. Do manage to allow him to completely avoid that sweep that Heroic were coming in with across their own jungle.
Devi's the one, okay, Devi's the one carrying that gem, so Mira just has to be careful of him.
There we go, the BKB pickup. It's now there for Nightfall.
Just has to worry about Roar. Roar and Omni.
They'll be happy to not be immediately forced into action once this Aegis is still there on Whisper.
Yeah, Nightfall popped Godstrike to farm, so.
I guess, yeah, that shows it, right? Really has no interest in trying to fight them right now.
We'll get caught.
This time, Mira not going to get away with sneaking around the jungle.
It's bound to happen at some points here. Devi with that gem. He says, sees it right away, gives him the tip. Where Heroic wants to go with these next few minutes of this Aegis. It is around this top side. I mean, they do have this deep ward. They need to scout in Mikoto a couple times. Get pretty massive kills. They've yet to bring down this Queen of Pain, Mikoto, that first pick.
Straight to the top. Heroic. Aurora. No interest in showing themselves right now. Sticking to the jungle.
I'm liking their itemization. It's pretty standard, pretty cookie cutter on the side of Aurora, but I like the routes that they're going so far. Shiva's on the Quap. They know they're playing versus the Aurora plus that Omni, potentially go for like Lincolns and Lotuses later. We'll absolutely see that on Aurora. Heroic. They're trying to find these catch pickup opportunities, but Aurora has definitely been one step ahead, at least, or one step better this game than the last one. A lot because of Mira. Honestly, just watching this bounty, I don't know if we have heat map or anything, but I'm sure that it's all over the place. He's been literally just giving information for the team.
This time, you know, they don't even want to mess around with him, at least not initially. They'll blink away on Divide. Whisper will still throw out the dust, but
Invisible, the definition of invisible impact, right? They got scared because they thought it was a smoke movement, but it was actually just a bounty. So minus 80 for the dust. And minus quite a bit of time and plus information. So Aurora continue to get those creeps. Nightfall, 1,700 difference between him and the Jug.
Yuma, they'll see an opportunity to get a quick, easy kill in. Won't hold back. Quick Omni Slash to take the Dragon down. More than happy to pop these ultimates in as the game starts to slow in pace.
Heroic just, it does feel, I know they were mentioning on the panel, I felt like this actually was more of like an acceleration, but this one does feel like they're more content with just chilling and farming. Not really forcing as much as we saw them doing that last one.
They'll go for a smoke move here, but of course this will be as their own Aegis is about to expire. And as we saw, you know, they don't have the Omni Slash to allow Yuma to really fully commit for this smoke play. So it's just going to be between the two of them, Whisper and Schofield for now.
There's a lot of damage between the two of them. Still in level 1 Sky ult, but should be level.
Double and Raw into the Mystic Flare, the Ancient Seal. It's indeed enough to even take down the Slaughter at this point.
And the next one will be a level 2 ult from the Skyrash, so it'll be much easier for them to actually just go for that heads up there. As we see Whisper, he's going for Mantha, by the way, on the Beastmaster. So looking for Dispels versus the Corrosive Haze and Track in particular. Mira.
Eyes on him this time. They're not afraid of him. They'll head in with the Stampede, but backup is available for Mira with the Ice Bar coming in. And Nightfall jumps over the Ghost Strength, takes out Schofield in a couple of hits. And that time, you know, it doesn't pay to sort of make that aggressive play back onto the bounty. Mira, he did have backup that time.
Mikoto's going through, he's following, but Whisper,
yeah, nothing to put a stop to that right now from Mikoto.
No hesitation. God Strength was used. So let's see if Heroic, when they do respawn in the sky, if they want to try to do something with that cooldown being utilized. Theirs are going to be coming back up. Aurora, level 18, he will have it back at the ready. These wards, though, and Mira, like, he's just done so much for the team to at least give information, but Heroic is still keeping themselves at this 3K lead. Getting towards some of these big items, these Dispels in particular, right? The Lotus, the Manta, that Corrosive Haze in particular, not going to be nearly as effective anymore.
In terms of timing overall, does anyone on each side feel worse if the game does continue to slow down into the later stages? Like, as the game scales on, are you more confident around the Sven or around the Juggernaut, sort of traditionally?
I think traditionally by the Jug. As it gets to the super late, the Juggernaut is reliant on your cooldown to buy, but we'll have to see.
Trying to get the lead in onto Wally, but at this point, both teams really having that sort of mid-game itemization that can bail one another out if it's not a full commit from the enemy team.
My real big worry is just that Heroic is going to have this like really hard carry, maybe even potentially two of them with the Beast, and they've got these auras. They're going to have they're going to have the Chen and the Centaur auras, and Aurora's not going to have any auras. They're going to literally have zero. I actually don't know what aura Aurora is going to have on their team in comparison, which can really make a difference in these team fights. Right?
The big hits coming in from Nightfall.
He'll be dead. That's probably the biggest kill they can find. That's the gem.
I mean, at this point, with the Daedalus coming out as well, it's just how quickly they can kill even the tankier targets. They'll turn over the wards. Schofield on the Skyrash. Sonic Wave comes in.
Nice.
Photo cleans up the two of them.
Really, really nice plays. Roche is coming up pretty soon, too. That explosive damage from the Sven going right through the Centaur.
Right. They want to try and piece something together to contest this Roshan. Still super strong on the Juggernaut. I think the play's done on Yuma.
Definitely a chance that the auras might not matter too, right? Because of how much damage Nightfall
Sure,
does.
he just
It's
cuts
really
straight
interesting.
through it all.
It's really interesting to see how this game is going to play out as we've gotten to pretty much the mid game at a completely even in terms of gold. Experience also actually very, very close. Just now dipped into Aurora's. It's been very, very close this entirety of the game.
Absolutely making a difference coming into this game too. Aurora with that switch up in style.
Yeah, try to match aggression. I think this is what you have to do when you're playing versus Heroic. I don't think you can play the late game style in a lot of these games. As Mira, with this gem, this is going to do quite a bit of work. Just doesn't have to be as worried himself about getting picked off constantly, and then he's going to take out probably quite a bit of wards too. But look at Heroic, they're just hitting creeps. Perhaps they do feel like they're going to be content with it if it does get to
I mean, that's the thing.
later stages.
Are they content in just letting that Roshan go? Because Roshan's back up.
I think the Roche they'll definitely look to contest. They have everything up and they're ready.
Aurora, they're in with the smoke. Heroic, as you say, very much ready to at least respond to any sort of attempts from Aurora here. Mira's going to head up to try and scout things out. They'll immediately make the jump onto him. Kill him off. Nightfall comes in, looks towards Divine. Sorry, White for as well. Divine's in trouble. He'll step feet away. The scream comes in. It's not enough to kill him. Divine will survive.
That's a lot used from Aurora.
That's the Sonic Wave and the God Strength. To back off for now, Aurora.
Oh. I mean, initially it looked a little like Heroic kind of stacked up for the Ice Path. There's 3 heroes. It looked like potentially they could get cleaved down, but now it's Aurora using all their abilities right before the Roshan.
And Divine having just enough to live through that. Nightfall, he'll be back in. No Scepter's there, though. Gonna put him off from trying to commit any further on towards Schofield.
They're going to start this Roche pretty soon here when Yuma wants to connect over. He still has Omni Slash, maybe waiting for the level 20 before he joins in.
I mean, and as you said, would you imagine what with the cooldown situation of Aurora, you just kind of have to concede it, or can you still try and do something?
It's pretty difficult to contest that one with the Sven and the Quap don't want to show up, so you might just have to YOLO play with one of the others to go for it. Let's see what the call is going to be. 30 seconds still on God's Strength.
Gonna have to do something soon. They want to put a stop to this, and they can't. Heroic, they get away with this one. But the Aegis onto Yuma this time round. Yeah, Aurora, after heavily committing in that play just before, they didn't have what it took to try and take Heroic down around the Roshan.
Just really smart little reset plays coming out from Heroic after getting that kill.
And back to the farm here for Aurora. And they're going to have to deal with yet another timing of the Aegis on Heroic.
Good thing was, of course, that Mira did place the gem back at base, right? So they didn't lose the gem that they had stolen when he did go for that walk-up play. So making sure to just keep that one away. So Yuma now with the protection of this Aegis, he's going to get into a really comfortable spot because with this butterfly too, you know, we always mention for the Svens, they don't really like to build for those MKBs, so we'll have to see what Nightfall wants to do versus that core-to-core matchup. That's why I kind of like this Jug versus the Svens in some type of ways.
Yeah, you don't really have to change your own build up at the Jug, but as you say, as the Sven,
and that's with that.
you've got to make some decisions.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's going to be your job to be the one to deal with the Jug, or if you can kind of rely on team around you to help take him down.
And another pretty annoying thing too is just like these little Ghost Scepters as we're seeing, right? Schofield, just a little Ghost Scepter. The Sven can't just go for it immediately. Yeah. We see it right there, right?
So many
I think
times.
that's the 4th time I've seen that he tries to jump and one-shot the Skyride.
Yeah, it's definitely annoying for Nightfall.
Yep.
Because it's not only the MKB, it's like, because you want to nullify, there's so many different things. It's like you can't have all these items on a Sven.
Yeah.
And, you know, normally you don't want to have either of the two of them. You got other things you want to be building up, so.
It's like Toronto, Tokyo probably has to, maybe eventually will have to go for the Nullifier, but he wants to go for his own build first, and he might need Ags, BKB before that. Probably not BKB actually in this game, but at least the Ags he wants to have before he wants to go down that route, and perhaps those Nullifiers. As Tormentor.
Get it again here, Heroic.
This is a very slow-paced style game. It's like one kill, team explosive ult, and then back up and reset and wait for just efficiency and objectives. And so far, at least in terms of efficiency, we're seeing Heroic have that edge.
Yeah, they're getting
tired of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. With
Go ahead.
the Roshans, with the Tormentors, and with sort of the overall situation of the towers.
That being said, I mean, Mikoto is still having a phenomenal game. Same thing for the Sven. It's just that slight edge, at least in terms of gold, and those objectives for the side of Heroic.
Catch the bite. Catch on the support, Ollie. The ice path out, but nobody else is going to stick around and try and help him. They just let him go down.
Holds on to that Omni as well, too. That everyone, of course, a number of Basher, so I think it's slight pivot, you could say, on the Jug in some type of ways, because he's playing versus the Sven. This is what you build when you want to just be able to stand toe-to-toe versus some of those strong cores, so...
Nice courier snipe, though. That's an expensive one, taking out the recipe for the Shivas of Divide. Very, very, very valuable snipe there. Gotta be careful with these couriers with Mira out on the prowl.
That's 2 minutes that he's not going to have it finished up. Tower will fall. Whisper does have an amp damage at the ready for the fight.
How we're doing on the Aegis, just
Only Kodo.
minutes left.
Be so careful how he shows here. He's been playing flawless so far.
Tough to kill though now.
He is.
BKB, Divas on top of the Kaya Sanj.
If he gets roared pre-BKB, he dies though.
Aurora immediately out of the top side of the map as Heroic head up here. I know that Heroic's going to be looking towards trying to get this tier 2 with the last moments of the Aegis.
Toronto, at least for now, he's queuing up the AC, so rather than going down that Nullify route, they're just, I mean, everyone's just farming. They're just looking to wait for these items, wait for the Aegis to go down. But the tier 2 is going to fall, so Heroic just continuing to get a little bit more map control, it feels like. I'm so curious to see what's going to happen when the actual full 5v5 kicks off.
Yeah.
Is the Sven actually going to be able to stick on targets? Is he going to get kited out?
I think it's going to be tough. You know, so far we've definitely seen that the overall freedom in the fights has much more so been there for the Jug.
A bit more, yep. Less things that he has to worry for sure about.
Yeah.
The Sven, if he gets caught by Roar, can just die. Just have to be a little cautious. Hesitant.
And the only cross, but the unspot follow as well. The triple side web as well. He'll back up with the blade through device and we get the stampede off.
Nice
We'll get
play.
dragged back and taken out. Despite his attempt to survive there with the Lotus.
They're waiting to resetting. No, Yuma was thinking about it.
Oh, one more. Get the crush on a Whisper. Whisper turns with the BKB, but the bash comes in from Toronto Tokyo. Whisper starts to hold back. Gonna lay down the dagger, they'll turn and the Omni Slash. The patience there for Whisper, holding back on the Raw to ensure that they can get the bigger kill, take out the quad. And we'll lose the Chen as King Jungles gets left behind. Overall, Nightfall able to get the favorable cleanup there, picking up the triple.
Right, Nightfall's pretty much two-shotting a lot of these
I
heroes.
want to go for more here. Toronto Tokyo, he's in. Closes the gap onto Whisper, gets him in with the crush. The final
Buyback.
come out for Schofield. He can't save Whisper though. And
Might be a Rampage.
he gets the Ultra Nightfall. Indeed, he wants more.
Thinking about it.
Finds a little bit of safety here. Dual spacing the jump, but now they're ready to jump. Get that mission, get that rampage. He might even be at the back of the water. He'll put the Manta. Aurora, they're diving up beyond the tier 4s. They want the effort to jump, but Nightfall getting himself the rampage. They're still at tier 1 in this lane, as they found themselves under the tier 4 moments ago. But yeah, the morale is going to be built up here for Aurora after they pretty much chase them entirely from their own base all the way across the map into their base.
Literally a full map chase to get these extra kills. That was beautifully done. And what, Ice Path to start things off, it looked like, right? And they just get this beautiful cover up on the two heroes. Massive burst damage. Mikoto does go down. A nice little synergy ult that we see did come out there from Heroic, but Heroic maybe having to respect a little bit more how they're going to go for those high ground pushes. It's just too much explosive burst damage.
See if Aurora can keep this up. They take the lead now on the net worth.
A lot of patience coming in. In Lotus Orb, you can barely see it, of course, there for a second, but they waited for the opportunity for Mikoto, but then afterwards, yeah, Nightfall with the chase.
They couldn't do anything about this Sven at this point. Starting to clean up, as we say, around his own base, and then ending up this continued chase down to the fact that Toronto Tokyo was able to lead in. And ain't no buyback going to be able to stop the inevitable on this one here, folks. As Schofield trying to offer up his help. But if anything, you know, just ends up giving away that extra bit of glory to Nightfall. He's able to find the rampage off the back of him. That's, you know, definitely a bit of a shake-up here to the series here from Aurora now getting this lead. And, you know, Heroic, maybe indeed the sort of the Jug, it's kind of difficult for you. We saw obviously in that situation, they were able to isolate the Quap, get the Omni Slash off on towards the Quap, and that's great and all, but there's a Jug, there's Sven that needs to be killed as well. So if everything's getting dropped onto the Quap,
And they're
Nightfall's going to get this sort of cleanup.
And they're starting to get these items that are actually going to deal with the Jug very effectively too. They actually are getting the auras, right? They're getting the AC. It's done for the Slardar. I believe the Sven also, he has MKB now to deal with him too. And he's going to get the Shard in a second too. So they're going to have plus 11 armor on the entire team as well on top of things for that Omni now.
Let's see what
Next
Aurora can
moments.
do here with this bit of swing of momentum into their favor.
Just a pretty big swing in momentum. See, Heroic is positioned here on the high ground. A fresh Abyssal has been picked up.
Both teams have all ultimates ready to go. He's looking to start things. And then look for the jump in the
Nice
fight.
stop.
Who's the one or two? The Mystic Blade comes down towards Mirror with a full stop there. Gets Mirror back to safety. Nightfall puts the gun through time. Aurora there. Stampede out of the action.
Nightfall.
They've killed off Toronto Tokyo. Now it could be Heroic's chance to try and chase some more. Nightfall's BKB coming to an end. Trying to close in on the water spin. Quickly turn and pretty much dispatch the army with one swift shot of his sword. Another 4-star to separate Nightfall from the chase of Heroic. Nightfall. He wants to get back in. Just on Yuma, but Yuma's coming back to have the blade through. Has the ready. They'll pick the healing ward out. Yuma moving in with the blade behind the back. Nightfall Nightfall with Nightfall finds the jungle. No, who stops there though? Oh my god, they've taken him down. Heroic able to fight back and push Aurora back up there. That's on the base. The Ancient Seal.
Mikoto.
The bird flying down into the abyssal as well. They'll catch the club on top of it, Heroic.
Yuma playing like I mean, exactly what you see at the top of the stream there. Beyond godlike. Perfect situation that he finds there to catch the Slardar. During the Lotus Orb downtime, I believe, they get the catch on him with the Omni.
Oh, but another like the courier snipe from Mirror. He's taking out Shiva's guards. He's taking out Agnum Scepters from the Jug this time round.
Oh, and they're going tier 4.
Did they try and push for it? And they don't have the buyback available on this fence. Over the Slardar.
No flip.
They're onto the tier 4.
I think Mikoto has the
They
buyback.
have to. Okay, Mirror. Okay, he's getting the couriers, but the face, the game, it's in jeopardy here.
The wave. There's a wave coming in top.
8-6 until Toronto goes back up to Divide. He'll get the jump one towards Ollie. Ollie, they'll have the barriers protecting him. The Strobo moves in. They're taking him out. Miro, come with the buyback.
They're throwing another
Still
horde.
40 seconds without the spell. Nightfall does not have the money to defend here. Toronto Tokyo trying to jump in, but the damage is so overwhelming. Toronto Tokyo's gone. Heroic, they're ready to close it on.
Oh, and they're ending it.
But they're on towards
Oh
the
my
Ancient.
god.
Aurora knocked down and out here.
Nightfall
Oh my
Dota.
god. These guys, they are so explosive and so good at coordinating these team fights.
I mean,
My goodness.
Moments ago, we had Aurora and we had Nightfall
so close to the
chasing
game.
Aurora all the way to their base, getting a rampage. And then Heroic, they reset themselves. They take the defense around them. They chase them down. Nightfall, he goes for a bit of a Hail Mary play there out on the Sped. He decides to try and turn and face the Jug, but they couldn't quite burst through Yuma. And at that point, the fight's over. The buyback's not there. They can't defend Fog.
This was outrageous plays. Literally, I like a split-second solar crest, the little heals that they got onto that Jug during the jump. The Yules, I actually didn't see, I think it was Schofield Yules onto the Sped when he went for the
Bro,
jump.
disrespect
These little plays
the
are insane.
supports.
Heroic.
That's what
This
we
game
get.
was even for 35 minutes, and then in the last 2 minutes, they end the game.
I mean, Yuma, just the one death this game as the Jug. The decisions from him, and as you say, it's just a team around the Jug, around their carry. We see it so many times, just how good they are at kind of dipping in and out of the fights. You know, outside of getting rampaged, you know, in those earlier moments, it really did feel like a game where getting this Jug seemed
Oh my god.
borderline impossible for
He's
Aurora. We
carrying
saw some
the
great
game.
jumps from this team, pretty much up to everyone else. But in that
think it's
final moment where they
Whisper
tried to
goes to
piece
mid.
things together to go all in on
BI.
Yuma in that mid as Aurora started chasing, Heroic started chasing Aurora
Maybe they will
down,
finish at
they
top
couldn't
3 or
quite
top
do
2
it. They
even.
needed to get that kill. They went all in on that play, and it just comes crumbling down
Because
upon
at
them.
the time,
Yuma,
Whisper is
honestly,
still
for me,
on.
has been one of the most clutch
Flynn
carry
and
players
we
in
got the
quite a bit of
analog.
games. There's some where it just looks like it can be maybe some difficult moments, but he clutches it out. He buys Rapiers when
just
necessary. 12-1-6 on this Jug. Yeah, I mean, of course,
Play
it's
the
the
map
team that's
better.
surrounding him, getting these small little bump ups and everything. But
Dominates
man,
because he's
that was
coming from
one of the
offline.
more explosive
Plays
last
over
3 minutes
there.
I've seen
It
in a
really
game.
picked up as I
Wait
watched.
till you see
Aurora
the
getting a rampage, and the next
people.
thing, you know, the game's just over for them. You know, at least for Aurora, definitely a stronger showing here in this game too, as opposed to what they're able to come up with game one. But at the end of it all, Heroic just showing time and time again now for sort of these performances here today and what we saw in week one of Blast Slam 4, just how well they are adapting to different situations, right? Game one, they get to play their play style. Game two, the enemy changes things up, tries to match the pace. Overall, though, the outplays at the crucial moments, they still come out stronger from Heroic as a team.
Yeah, I mean, it's the team fighting, the spell casting, the itemization, like this little Yules from Schofield that you maybe would never see any other skies by. There's a million things you can talk about for Heroic of how well they execute under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to take a lot of looking in towards this team to see what to do to try and shake these guys up. They seem to have all the answers as they come in strong here today and take the 2-0 to move on, knocking Aurora out.
All right, my friends. Yes, that is right. We are here with Davai. What an incredible series. How are you feeling after coming out of that one?
Yeah, no
Very good.
vice.
Enjoy the games very much. We played very well. I think yeah, we can be very proud of ourselves. I think it's our first top 4 in a tier 1 event, depending how you define it. But yeah, very happy.
All right, crowd, do you think they earned that top 4
Vai lá,
spot
mano.
so far? Huh?
Into
Yeah,
last hope.
all right, all right, all right. When are we gonna see you guys have a boring game, huh? You guys are always going some crazy shit all the time. It's always an insane early game or a rampage at the end. What's up with that, huh? Where's the boring game?
We're just we're fun people, you know. We're a fun team. We have good ideas, you know. Better to be interesting. Be fun, you know?
All right, all right. Well, are we gonna see some more exciting fun coming up here? Is this gonna continue on the heroic way?
It's gonna be better tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up one more time for the boys out heroic. We send it back to the panel.
It's nice to get those winning moments, especially with Davai, someone who loves to show emotion. He's talking about, wow, it's always more enjoyable to be interesting. This game number 2, though, it felt like they were playing more into Aurora's playstyle, right? They slowed it down a little bit. We didn't see that high impact or that high aggression coming out from Heroic, but they're showing they can still win when they want to play that way too, Misery.
Yeah, I think this was a more impressive win than Game 1 in my opinion, because they were under a lot of pressure from the Aurora. In my opinion, they had to really pull themselves together and play together as 5 and not make any mistakes, because it's a very snowball lineup on the other side. So I think this was a nice win for them to take on tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it was, you know, on the flip side, I think it was a pretty impressive recovery from Aurora. I think compared to how they looked in Game 1, which was just a complete disaster. I think in Game 2, they had much better lanes. They make some moves. They had gotten some kills. They pulled together a rampage at the end there somehow. So I think it was, you know, more of a breath of fresh air. But I agree with Misery that I think this is a more impactful win. I think they sort of showed how you can play from behind. We've seen them do time and time again that they're able to do that, and they prove it once again now that they're not just a team that can snowball. They can also play from behind. They're not a one-dimensional team.
I think it is a treat to watch Heroic, and just the general way that they play. I think, you know, Fog mentioned at the very end, like even making small item choices to fix problems. I think, you know, as much as the draft is important, the phase is important, items are as critical. There's every little thing that Heroic does to make sure that they're always in the best position, you know, to be able to win out a game.
Yeah, I want to know more though how you guys felt about Aurora. We're not going to be seeing them anymore. They got 2-0'd here, and so that means unfortunately for Blast Land 4, we're not going to see them out on stage. That game number 1, it kind of crumbled for them, but game number 2, it felt like there was just so much more of a breath of life in Aurora.
Yeah, I think they had a little bit of hope in this game. But if I'm completely honest, I think they need to watch these replays. They need to go back to the drawing board a little bit, and they need to figure some stuff out, because while this was better than what Game 1 was, it's not good enough even still. And so I think if you're them, you need to work harder, because this was just not good enough.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that. I feel like for Aurora, it's been too long for an organization to just be an 8th place team. With the players that they have, the caliber that they have, after a year and a half, like, I'm expecting them to be a top 6 team, a top 4 team at some point, and it just isn't working out. So yeah, I feel like they really need to kind of make sure that as they enter the end of 2025, enter the 2026 portion of the season, they need to step up their game. Because again, the expectations are high, but the play is just not matching.
I think with time, while it's not going to be the last land that they're putting, it is going to be much more time for them when, you know, sticking with this roster, with tournaments will come up. But you're talking about placements. How do you guys think about it? Davai always didn't feel that excited that they'd made a top 4. What was going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, we also spoke about it earlier, right? And it's something that they think about too. So that's a very meaningful win, right? First tier 1 tournament, top 4. So good stuff for them.
Yeah, I mean, Davai is also a player who's been in, you know, he played in NA for a long time. When you're in the trenches for quite some time, I think you know, when you finally start to win, it's like, holy crap, it's actually possible. And so I know how I feel with that North American feeling.
Yeah, well, look, someone who knows what it feels like to win. You are joining us on the panel here. How you feeling? I know it's kind of a late night, a little bit of jet lag after all the flying that's been going on here.
No, I think I'm feeling good. I don't really have jet lag.
Oh, really? You're like maybe the only one here that doesn't.
One, I could sleep last night, thankfully. So, yeah, it's not really affecting me. But I think some of my teammates are got food poison. Yeah, which is a bit sad.
Well, look, you couldn't tell. You guys were playing amazing today. You come in and get this 2-0, but the game number 2, though, it felt like such a different different styles from what we normally see from Heroic. You guys playing a little bit slower. For you guys to go, hey, this is the play style we need to go. Like, we don't need to be as aggressive as what we were in game before.
I think it just depends on the draft now. The second game, I thought that our lanes went a bit worse than they should have. Then we just decided to slow the game down because we knew the moment we got items on the beast, items on me, like Sven is not really a hero that likes dealing with a fly, so we just decided to slow it down, and it made sense, right? So I think it just depends on the game. I don't think we go every game and then we're like, we need to play fast this game.
I was curious how like the communication is on the team since switching out the analog for Defy, because you know my perspective is that he's quite a vocal player, quite someone who wants to dictate things, and it's like the who's communicating, who's leading change, or is like the identity generally like similar?
You mean analog is a communicator?
Yeah, and analog compared to Defy. I feel like Defy is more of like the leader, sort of central type player.
Well, I feel like he used to be like this. I think nowadays like when he got back, he was not as vocal as he used to be, surprisingly. I think that, I mean, he says it himself that talking too much sometimes can lead to him having worse games. Like, so he's focusing more on himself. He makes the calls that he thinks are really good. But I think Whisper is doing an amazing job. Like, the first game, he was the one kind of leading the early game. Yeah.
I was going to ask about the Rough Chain too, but I have a different question now. So in the group stage, you guys played a lot of Enigma mid, Darkseid mid, maybe Mars mid as well, like flexing from the offlane to mid with Whisper, transitioning to mid. But you haven't really done that since then. Is that something, even when it's just like a spur of the moment, randomness, or is it something you've been talking about? Or how come we're not seeing that as much?
I think it depends. It made sense some games. I think they banned or Enigma these games, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I think it's easy when you have two players that share similar heroes. You can just draft around it and make strategies around it. So I think if it makes sense, we'll do it.
Right. Yeah, of course.
I'm just going to ask a stupid question. All right, so Divine, that previous game, he was like pinging the damage he did to Slardar and stuff in the series. Like, do you ever notice when your teammates like pinging damage they did, tips, like all these like...
It's annoying.
It's annoying, okay. Okay.
It is.
It is annoying?
Yeah, it is annoying.
Are you going to talk to him after the game and be like, boss?
Not really, that's just how he is as a person. He finds fun in it, like it's not against the enemy, disrespecting or anything, but yeah. It is how he is, and yeah, just have to accept it.
How much do you think that then influences like in like communication? Do you ever have games where you get, not you, but like as a collective get like carried away with like a game's being won, it's like fun, or do you feel like you're more disciplined nowadays where you know a losing or winning game is kind of like the same type of game?
I think ideally that's the ideal scenario, right? Like being able to keep calm no matter whether you're winning hard or losing as well. But I think we are trying to be more disciplined because it can get out of hand, and we've thrown many games in the past because it's too, you can feel like it's too easy and then you just end up throwing. Yeah.
I was curious about the draft in game one, and then you also do some other stuff slightly in other times, where you're I think one of the only teams that picks cores on both 9 and 13, and you also do it where you pick core on 8 and then core on 14, 15. Is that just something that you all think is strong? You do again? I mean, maybe you feel it's too secret, you don't want to talk about it, but is it something you do against specific teams, or just generally something you feel is strong to pick cores early?
To be honest, draft is mostly Caps, our coach, so I think he would be the perfect person to ask this. As much as I know, like, the stress coming for specific teams, I can't really say, to be honest. We just think it's good, we talk it off, and then, yeah.
All right, I want to ask more of a you-specific question then. You're like, that's Cavs, I don't want to talk about draft, all right? We kind of got to talk about the incident that happened in Blastland groups in Info, where I'm going with it, the Rapier, you ended up changing the hotkeys and things like that. But how did you feel after it when you accidentally misclicked with it that you were so aware of it the next time you picked up a Rapier?
In the TA game?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, like, I don't think it would have changed that much. Maybe we could have killed the, was it the Sand King, if I remember correctly, but I don't know, I just realized in the game, like, sometimes you have too many buttons to press and then you can miss click, and Rapier is just one click, right? Like, if you click it, it's done. So, and then it was against Liquid, the AM game. I was like, okay, I don't want to make that mistake again. It's minute 60 something or 70. I was like, I'll just change it.
More importantly, what is that key normally for you? Like, what item slot is that? Is it like your wand, your treads, like?
Well,
What's
to be
the
honest-
culprit?
I mean, Rapier didn't really have a item slot specifically for me
I
until
hope so.
yeah. It's one.
Yeah. But what do you normally use one for?
Yeah, what do you normally put?
When there's no rapier there, when you're normally playing a traditional game, an honest game of no rapier, like what's the slot used for?
An honest game of Dota.
Outside of your Meepos and whatever. Yeah.
Well, it can be BKB.
Okay. Right, that's fair. That's fair. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're kind of one of the only carries really picking up Rapier? Do you feel like this patch there's just more Rapiers showing up in games? Because that's how we feel when we watch. We're just like, oh, okay, there seems to be a Rapier in every second pro game now.
I mean, I think the item is underbought. I think it's. I mean, I understand that it's very. If you lose it, you lose 6,000 net worth, and you might lose the game. But it's like even in even games, sometimes Rapier can be the item that wins you the next team fight because it's. You can clearly see the difference when you have a Rapier and when you don't. Like you ignore some of the tanky heroes. That's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I'm sure we could sit here all night, keep talking to you about this, but you still have another series to play when it comes to tomorrow, so we're going to let you rest. Thank you so much, Yuma, for joining us. Congratulations yet again. Just an absolute pleasure to get to watch Heroic play on stage. We'll have that pleasure tomorrow as well. Will it be another 2-0? Who knows? It will definitely be a best of 3. And couldn't you feel like you got everything answered there? Do you feel like, okay, now you know Heroic a little bit better, more insight now?
Yeah, I think it's always cool to hear the perspective. I think they all seem like on a very even keel after the win. They're not, buzzing too hard. They're not like going crazy. And I think, he said they were trying to be more, sort of structured, throw a little bit less, be a little more calm. And I think you can kind of see that. And I think it's a really good direction for them to go in. And I'm glad to hear that they are working on that because I think that is, a problem that this team has had historically is they go a little too crazy and they throw a little too much. And so pulling back on that, and I think you look at the most successful team of the past year, which is Falcons. They sort of pride themselves on that structure.
Those
and being able to remain calm
overpriced
and
used
keep
piece of
the game
tech that
moving
nobody cares about, and I bought it.
Woo!
In Canadian dollars, that was like 4.5 thousand. So that look actually kind of looks nice, don't know? For our wearable, this is heavy. I'm not gonna be a glazer of Apple for free. This is light, sure, cool, but this is heavy. So how do I look? So how do I look?
Not heavier than the tortoise you're gonna ride in VR.
Good?
What is blood yapping about? XQCL.
Is that Aurora or not? I can actually see, but it's like blurry. It's giving the instructions in Japanese and Chinese. Buddy, I don't speak either. Those overpriced used piece of tech that nobody cares about. And I.
Game number 2, I think we doing like a lot of free rush. I think they just get like free rush in a row, and we shouldn't do that because we have the serious on Star and but it's really needed. So they get to do anything this is kind of pushing, and it's hard for us to like kill them when they have.
Where do you think you as a team, as Aurora, went wrong in this last like how you didn't make it to the final day in Europe? Okay, and of course there are a lot of people watching the arena here on the home turf in Southeast Asian here. And even if you say to all the fans that have been cheering you guys on. Thank you everyone.
Only gives so much information. It's such a skill to be able to be storytelling in such a short period of a series of the games that, very good credit for like just when you are a player that it's nice to be able to hear it. It just gives us all those words and I just look forward to them trying things and finding success. But there is so much.
They are a team that seems to be next door. You see other European, but teams in Europe, like Liquid, for example, that didn't make it to the playoffs. They have high expectations. It didn't click. I think BB is the best example from the group stage where things didn't click. Suddenly they're second place in the tournament. It just takes one conversation, one thing within the roster, and then the place in the tournament. It just takes one conversation, one thing within click. Suddenly expectations.
Oh, it's spicy. Mouse Crystallis. Mouse Crystallis.
Well, at least we'll get 1100 speed for the spark. Toto, why? Why? It was 100. It doesn't. Oh my goodness. I'm so. And we had medium. Oh, and by the way, we had practice perfect for that too. Well, at least we'll get.
No, it's
gonna make a list. It's a high-risk strategy, but I believe in my skill. The rain's coming down, but it's only meant to be a shower. I can stay out on slicks, while everyone else wastes time bailing out onto wet tires. Let's hope it's the right call. Okay, track's still wet, the pack's catching up, but I'll be the one laughing when the track dries out. Okay, no, this is bad. This is bad. This was a bad idea. No, 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 no. Nah. No! Ah! Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Wait! Wait! Please! Oh god. Dude! What? Right, I'm flipping going home. But I am home. Well, I'm going out then. It's a high-risk strategy, but I believe in my...
The whole goal of the safe lane is to push it so you can pull. That's the meta of the safe lane right now. In theory, it shouldn't ever need to be something you're reminded of. It should be an immediate trigger. Lane's pushing, we pull. If it's not pushing, we push it, so we pull. If we don't have the pull available, that needs to be communicated, so then we don't push it. But then we get the pull available. And if they say the guy's contesting me, then you say, okay, I can come over and help. And then you get the pull available. You guys could literally improve 1,000 MMR to laning together, literally saying our focus is to get the pull available, let's communicate about it, and when the lane pushes, you pull. The whole goal of the safe lane is to push it. Register. I did it.
Kapan lagi kamu bisa ikutan Press Up 100 motor? Cuma di Perma Puncak Shop.
Yeah, give me the slipstream, boy. Oh, the Mercs are P1, P2.
They made it tough, Philip.
Rico Kashimoto.
You bait no hook with
Wow,
me.
we have Somnus, enemy Brock.
Right for here.
Somnus.
Prepare for battle. In the bag. Hook,
So
line,
sus.
and sinker.
Mini tight.
James, I think we can agree that this one is in the bag. Don't get caught. Good. Over here. Go on. Come on.
30 seconds to battle.
You sure? All part of the plan. Right. Right. That's right. Stay out of my way. Yeah. Nice one. Now you're talking.
Bro, good.
That should help. I'll take that. This way. Careful. Oh, Don't get caught. Here, fishy, fishy. Yeah. Right through here.
Full boost.
Good. There's no escape. This way. You sure? I'm under attack. Over here. Come on, I won't hurt you. And you don't even think about it. Yeah. All right.
What the hell is this? Oh my god, this. Yeah, I remember. What the hell? He's still stuck. This Harbra.
That's right. I got this one. You don't ring a little fish. More like it.
Nice.
The plan. Right. Not so fast. Use your... Right through here. Right. Don't get caught. Right. Ease the thing down. Worse than weak.
Fuck, bruh.
All right. over here. That's right. I like it. Right.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Good. Nice one. This way. Yeah. Give it here. More like it. Let's pick things up. You're mine now. I see it. Don't get caught. Alright. You sure? Yeah. Taste. Nice one. I see it. Right through here. I'll be out of this mess in no time. Now you're talking. Good. Careful. Wiggle, little fish. It's I'm under attack.
Your middle tower is under attack. Dire's turret has been killed. Radiant's Your middle tower is under attack.
Okay.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Come on. Go on. Nice one. Right through here. Double trouble. I'll take that. Go on. That's right. Now.
Your top tower is under attack.
Over here. Alright.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
It's a beatdown.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
You sure? More like it.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah.
Your bottom tower is under
Don't get
attack.
caught.
Your bottom tower has fallen.
Let's go take some chances.
You'll be sorry when you see me. Yeah. Now that's great. I've got this one.
This is a good opportunity to learn.
All part of the plan. I'll hurt you. Over here.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Now your turn. Psst. This way. You sure? Good. Right. Here, fishy, fishy. On your belly and crawl. Right. That's right.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
There's no escape.
Come back.
Alright. Right through here. Give it here. Right.
Your top tower is under attack.
Right. More like it. Come on. Don't get caught. Yeah.
Oke, aduh. Put my god mode reflex.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack.
Ah, fuck, bro. What the hell is this?
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Escaping death is easy when you've broken out of Dark Reef. Good.
Okay.
Now you're over here. Come on. I'm under attack.
Greetings from the Kazurai.
Aiya.
Reaching the face is the path to wisdom.
Madness. Take that. I got this one. Right,
Your middle tower is under attack.
right.
What is that?
Nice one. Come on. I see it. Right. Careful.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
That's right. Yeah.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Dark Reef.
Your bottom tower is under attack. The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Where is the ward? What the fuck is this?
This way. Don't get caught. Right. Right.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack.
You sure? All part of the plan. Good. Nice one. Yeah. Now your turn. Right. That's right.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Illusion. Wiggle, wiggle, little fish. Right through here. Nice one. After him. Over here. That's right.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Good. You're mine now. Don't get caught. Now our ship is nice and sharp.
Your middle tower
This way.
is under attack.
Right. Right. Careful. Right. More like it. Now your turn. Don't get caught. Right through here. That's right. Now your turn. Over here. I'll take this one. Oh, this is all part of the plan. Yeah. A true golden now.
Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower has fallen.
Yes, so thicker, choking on it. Right. You sure?
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen.
One.
Dire's courier has been killed. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen.
And die. I like it. Hey, sport. Careful. This way. Your top tower is under attack.
Oh fuck the shit. Nah, I need to go sleep. Because tomorrow I will make a donor. Thanks everyone.